Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. It's good to see some folks out here. I'm excited to share with you some things that occurred in 2018, some good news about things in Woodbury, and to make you aware of some things happening in 2019 and beyond. So I hope you find a few things tonight that you take away that you find meaningful or useful. I'd like to acknowledge I think there's only one other elected official in the audience tonight. That's Jen Santini, newly elected city council member. So thanks for being here, Jen. I also want to take a minute and just recognize our amazing snow removal team here in Woodbury. As most of you know, we've just surpassed the snowiest February in all of Minnesota of all time. The crews have been working very, very hard, so just a big shout out to them. Thank you, guys and gals, for all you're doing out there. So we do have we've got a whole new council in place. A couple of them are experienced and some of us are new. So you'll see on the left is Andrea Date. She's in her first term, but she's served already a couple of years. Amy Scoggins is our resident expert and most experienced. She's on her fourth term here as city council member. She's also called the mayor pro tem. There you have me in the middle. Steve Morris is there, and then Jen, who we just recognized here. So I'm going to be doing my very best to fill in for the shoes of our former Mayor, Mary Giuliani Stevens, who is a friend and mentor of mine, and I've so appreciated all that she's done to help me be prepared for this position. You may know that she was mayor for 8 years and was on city council for 4 years prior to that. So I have really big shoes to fill for sure. Steve and Jen are taking over for the retired council members, Julie O's and Christopher Burns. So we welcome all of them. It's an exciting time to have this new council in place. I'm very confident with the assistance of our experienced council members, Amy and Andrea, that we've got the knowledge and backgrounds needed to continue to ensure that Woodbury is a place where residents, businesses, and government work together to create a welcoming community where all our people can thrive. So, talk about thriving. Let's start off with some successes and accolades for our city. We have really so many points of pride in Woodbury, which you can see on the screen, and I'll highlight only just a few. So in 2018, Money Magazine named Woodbury the #1 city in all of Minnesota to live, and we were also rated number 10 in the entire country. We're also proud to have received a AAA bond rating consecutively since 2009. This allows us to issue bonds at the best interest rates possible. And this is all due to our really amazing and fantastic fiscal and financial management that we've got in our city. We also received the Performance Measurement Certificate of Excellence, which is the highest level obtainable. And we've received this every year since 2011. Only 34 cities in the country received this, and we are the only city in all of Minnesota to have received it. So we're very proud of that. And lastly, I'll just highlight that in 2018, Woodbury was named the Minnesota Real Estate City Journal of the Year. The Minnesota Real Estate Journal's City of the Year. We were recognized for major accomplishments achieved and lots of projects and for facilitating all the development, which we'll be talking about here shortly. So let's talk more about that now. Woodbury continues to experience active commercial and residential development. And much of this is due to our very much growing population. You can see on the screen the growth in our population that has occurred since we were first founded back in the early 1960s. Woodbury is now Minnesota's 8th largest city. Based on population, we just overtook Eagan, and we're not done growing yet. Currently, our population is 72,000 residents. We're expected to reach 74,000 by the end of 2020. And by 2040, we'll be at nearly 90,000 residents. So where are all those new residents going to live? Well, if you've been out and about off of down south of Bailey Road and off of Dale Road, you can see all that new residential construction going on. But there's also other pockets around the city where we've got some development. In 2018, we had 675 units permitted for residential development. Of those, 258 were apartment units, 133 were townhome units, and 284 were single-family homes. Of those 258 apartments, they were all affordable senior housing units. One is occurring and is being built now, will be opened here, I think, about July. the Legends of Woodbury, which is located in the former KOA campgrounds up off of Settlers Ridge Parkway. And in addition, the other project is called the Glen at Valley Creek. It's located at the intersection of Valley Creek, Afton Road, and Tower Drive. So several new multifamily units were also approved for construction in 2018 that will be under construction here in 2019, including the Preserve at City Place, which includes 253 apartment units that will be market rate apartments, and they're considered a Class A apartment. This is the first set of Class A apartments that we'll have here in Woodbury. That's all going to be constructed just to the east side in City Place, just east of where all the retail space is right now. So we have a lot of diversity in our housing stock. That all makes it a great place for all people to live in Woodbury, including those who want to stay in Woodbury and age in place. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So now what about commercial development? 2018 was just another outstanding year for us in commercial development. 50 new businesses came to Woodbury in 2018. I'll highlight just a few. The Alamo Cinema Draft House, Third Act Brewery, the Goddard School, and Summit Orthopedics Surgery Center. There's several more planned to be open here in 2019, including Raising Cane's Chicken. I think that opens in March. I know the high school kids are very excited about that one. I think others are as well. Horton Ortho, Wellhaven Pet Health, Woodspring Suites, Aris Pediatric Behavioral Services, Sleep Number, and Barnes & Noble, which is moving from its current location in Woodbury Village over to City Place. So let's look at the numbers for commercial development. We had 164,000 square feet of space added, which totaled $25 million in building permit revenue. Of that commercial space, 77% was considered places to work, with the rest being retail. You can keep up to date on all our commercial and residential projects by checking out the city's development page on our website. It's an interactive map, and you can just click on the various pins. Some are yellow, some are orange. By clicking on the pin, it can bring up more details about each project, so you can stay on top of it by checking that out. So besides commercial development, we've also got a fair amount of commercial reinvestment. Commercial property owners continue to reinvest in Woodbury, pulling 109 permits for leasehold improvements and additions. In 2018, the cumulative permit value of that reinvestment was nearly $35 million. The top 10 commercial alterations and additions included the Super Target East, the Woodbury Village Target, Minnesota Gastroenterology, H&M, Alina, Associated Eye Care, Walmart, Woodmere Apartment, Hepner's Auto, and the Woodhouse Day Spa, which has its grand opening this Saturday. So all that commercial growth and reinvestment is really good for jobs. We are home to nearly 25,000 jobs in Woodbury, and we're increasingly becoming known as the healthcare destination, with 1 out of 5, full 20% of our jobs being in healthcare. But we also have strong retail, financial, and hospitality sectors. Our top 5 employers in Woodbury include District 833, which is the South Washington County Schools, HealthEast, 3M, Health Partners, which includes the Trio Orthopedics, and Self-Esteem Brands, which includes the Anytime Fitness headquarters. We have more than 200 medical businesses in the community, making Woodbury that great destination for quality health care. So educational achievement plays a role in all that success we're having. This chart highlights the educational attainment for Woodbury residents for achieving a bachelor's degree or higher. And you can see how we compare to the Twin Cities and to the United States as a whole. The high school numbers are pretty impressive as well, with nearly 98% of our residents holding a high school diploma. Talking about schools, I asked staff to include this map of our school boundaries because it's a question I'm often asked about. Where are the boundaries? How does this all work? So we do know that quality education draws a lot of our residents to our community, and we are served by 3 public school districts. In the Northwest, we've got District 622. The Northeast is District 834, which is the Stillwater Schools. And you can see that most of Woodbury is served by the South Washington County Schools, District 833. getting around town. And for our suburban city, it's mostly about roads and pedestrian systems. As the state's 8th largest city and the economic hub of the East Metro, we have developed design standards to balance safety and mobility when it comes to traffic and pedestrian safety. Each year, the city identifies areas in need of roadway rehabilitation, and there are several scheduled for 2019, including the Bailey Frontage Road, which is a portion that sits between Woodbury Drive and Fairway Drive, Upper Afton Road, and then the residential neighborhoods of Marsh Creek and Meadowood. For our major roadways, we've got some other projects planned also for 2019. You can see on the map that, notice the pink color, because those are the 2019 projects. We've also got listed where projects are going to occur in 2020 and beyond. So looking at 2019, again, the pink color, the construction projects you'll see include, and this is for trail improvement only along these roadways. So Valley Creek Road, east and west of Woodbury Drive, so nothing on the road, just trails on both sides. And in addition, Radio Drive from Pioneer Drive to Valley Creek Road, again, just trail improvements there. So keep in mind that some of our roads are county roads, including the increasingly traveled Bailey Road, increasingly traveled because of all those new homes being built down that way. A corridor study was completed in 2018, and Washington County has identified 3 projects along the corridor to improve safety, capacity, and operations, where they'll provide the most benefit now and for quite some time into the future. So work will involve 3 segments of the roadway over the next 2 years. So for 2019, that section of road is Bailey Road between Pioneer Drive and Woodbury Drive. So if you think about what I just said a few minutes ago, we've also got a portion there. There's a roadway that's connected to it that's a city piece. So right in that area, lots of going on. And then in 2020, Bailey Road between Radio Drive and Woodlane Drive, and then also Bailey Road at the intersection of Military Road. Here's another county project, the northern section of Woodbury Drive, but this is not scheduled until 2020. But Woodbury Drive, as you probably know, serves as a major gateway into our community. Lots of vehicles are traveling this, and we've reached or exceeded capacity on many of those roadways and intersections. Improvements were made to Woodbury Drive south of Tamarack Road in 2017. In 2020, the county will be upgrading Woodbury Drive just south of I-94. It will also include local upgrades to the commercial areas west of Woodbury Drive also. And here the green line on the map identifies where all that will take place. So besides county roads, we're fortunate to be also served by state and interstate highways. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the Minnesota Department of Transportation has already started work in December on a $29 million upgrade to the I-494, 694, I-94 interchange. Work will continue there through 2020. I'm sure we can expect lots of delays over the next couple of summers. Project details are available on the Minnesota Department of Transportation website. So besides roads and highways and trails and paths, we also have a transit project headed our way. The Metro Gold Line is a planned 10-mile dedicated bus rapid transit line that's going to connect St. Paul, Maplewood, Landfall, Oakdale, and Woodbury, generally along the northern part of I-94. So it's going to be a separate dedicated roadway. And then when it gets into Woodbury, it curves south along Bielenberg Drive. It will provide frequent all-day service in both directions. The map here shows 3 proposed stations in Woodbury along Bielenberg Drive and Guider Drive. You'll notice that there's also a proposal to extend Bielenberg Drive north over I-94 with a new bridge. It's going to connect to Helmo Avenue in Oakdale. The bridge will be open to all traffic, so the bus rapid transit, cars, and pedestrians. It will serve only as an overpass. There'll be no connection onto I-94 at that overpass. The project has involved many parties, including the Met Council, the counties of Ramsey and Washington, and the various cities along the line, as well as state and federal government. The Gold Line is expected to be in service in 2024. So that wraps up our topic on transportation. Let's now move on to some other exciting news. The city has been very proactive in becoming a resilient community through a number of actions related to energy, efficiency, and renewable energy. Woodbury, the city of, contracts with community solar gardens for subscriptions to purchase electricity. The contracts we've got in place over 25 years will result in nearly $3.7 million in energy savings. And solar is catching on with businesses too. You'll see in this picture, this is the rooftop of the supermarket where they have placed and are using solar panels. And we've also got a solar garden being constructed right now, right in Woodbury. It's being constructed on the northwest corner of Military Road and Wood Lane. And if you've been by this, you might picture it. If you haven't, realize it's a very, feels like a very country road. Lots of trees, rural properties, large estates. But the way that they're building this and the way they're going to have it bermed and landscaped is you're not even going to be able to see those solar panels from the road or from the nearby neighbors. So I encourage you to go by there and take a look at it. Going forward, the city is also considering installation of solar panels on the new Public Works building, and that's being evaluated. So I'd like to share a few updates from our Public Safety Department. Talk about the Hero Center. The cities of Cottage Grove and Woodbury, along with significant funding from the state of Minnesota, are constructing a regional, state-of-the-art, immersive training center for police, fire, and emergency medical services. The facility is being constructed on a 9-acre parcel of land in Cottage Grove. So both Cottage Grove and Woodbury provide police, fire, and emergency medical services using an integrated public safety model. This allows all three disciplines to work together cooperatively to serve the community and to reduce costs because of these shared services. As a result, in-service training is really crucial to allowing them to work together and to support this model. So in addition, this facility will create opportunities for hosting community-based safety training, such as CPR, firearms training, and recreational vehicle safety training. This is expected to open in 2020. So crime rates in Woodbury. These are the statistics from our most recent performance measurement report. Let me highlight. Part 1 crimes include homicide, rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, theft, auto theft, and arson. Part 2 crimes include all other criminal offenses. To put these numbers in perspective, please know that there were more than 30,000 calls for service in 2018. I had the privilege of riding with one of our officers last week, and it was clear to me that the focus truly is on keeping our community safe, and they do a great job. So besides fighting crime, our officers also like to be a positive force out and about in our community. They've been working to build relationships when they're out there. They go to schools, they stop in neighborhoods, they attend block parties, which they've done often in my neighborhood. They work with their community and talk about safety. They also participate in events like Woodbury Days, and many of them just competed the polar plunge. So you know that some of our officers are not human? That's right, we've got police dogs and now police puppies. Last fall, our canine program welcomed 2 new puppies. That's Cirrus on the left and Buster on the right. Traditionally, police canine programs bring in dogs that acquire dogs that are about a year old. But our program decided to do something different and bring in puppies and integrate them into the pack and train them here locally from the very beginning. 2 of our older dogs are ready for the couch life. All of this was made possible by generous donations of the Woodbury Police Canine Fund. That same organization also supported all 4 canine teams as they represented Woodbury at the U.S. Police Canine Association National Trials. So our Public Safety Department also includes fire and emergency medical services. We've added a few new combination fire EMTs to the team, and here's a photo from their swearing-in ceremony. Fire and EMS staff responded to more than 5,200 calls in 2018. Many of us chose to live in Woodbury because of our parks, trails, and recreation programs, and we've got some exciting improvements to talk about there as well. So a major renovation began at Ojibway Park in September. It literally almost started the day after Woodbury Days concluded. the end of last August. The original park building, which was constructed in the early 1970s, has reached the end of its useful life and needs to be replaced. So the project includes a new park building, which you can see here in the picture. I think the architecture is just beautiful. It's going to be very stunning there. And with all that natural light, it's going to be a great welcoming building for people that have programs and activities there. We also will include a new play structure, which it's going to be great for all the little kiddos here in Woodbury. Skate park improvements, band shell improvements, trail enhancements, wayfinding nodes, and parking lot improvements. Construction, fingers crossed, is expected to be completed in August 2019, just in time for our next Woodbury Days celebration. So another popular destination in Woodbury is our HealthEast Sports Center with its 2 indoor rinks, its outdoor rink, field house, meeting rooms, gathering spaces. So many things to do in this facility, including ice skating, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball, football, walking, running, cultural celebrations, trade shows, display shows, and community events. In 2018, HealthEast Sports Center hosted the most events in history, the largest visit count in 23 years with more than 448,000 visitors to that facility. That does not even include the thousands of additional participants who use the outdoor athletic fields, the Miracle Field, Madison's Place Playground, or the splash pad. So now I think we should have up there the picture of Eagle Valley Golf Course. And if you're anything like me, after we've been through what we've been through here in February with all the snow, that just looks delightful. And I know we can't wait for warmer weather coming and opportunities to be outdoors. So Eagle Valley Golf Course is known in the golfing community for its excellent course conditions and its super friendly staff. In 2018, the course replaced its irrigation system with a new system that's more efficient at getting water to the right places where it's needed and when it's needed. For many years also, the golf course has been reducing its groundwater usage by pumping water from many of its stormwater ponds. Just another great example of our city's focus on sustainability. Central Park, where we're gathered here today, is also a great community gathering spot. Great place to hang out, meet friends, do homework, read, go to the library, grab a snack, take a class through community ed, or work out at the YMCA. It's available for renting for weddings, wedding receptions, large and small business celebrations, and meetings. The Recreation Division hosts several performances in the park. It's its indoor amphitheater throughout the year, and there's one following me today. So looking for something to do? We offer a lot to do through our recreation program. There truly is something for everyone. The summer 2019 program brochures will be mailed out in early March. I encourage you to page through the brochure, find something interesting, and sign up for it. So we know that Woodbury has lots of trees and roads and parks, and trails, buildings, cars, trucks, and all those things need to be maintained. And with all that maintaining going on, sometimes we need to maintain and improve the facilities that make all that happen. So the Public Works Building and the Fleet Services Building located on Tower Road are going through significant improvement and expansion. The Fleet Services Building, which sits on the west side of Tower Road, is being replaced with a 25,000 square foot fleet services facility and a nearly 19,000 square foot unheated shed that will house vehicles and seasonal equipment used for maintenance services. The Public Works Building on the east side of the road is adding a 53,000 square foot addition. It will support operations for the next 10 years. There might need to be some additions after that as we keep growing. So sometimes in life, bad things happen, and we have no control over that. And this is one of them, the emerald ash borer. We've seen this coming for years. It's occurred in other areas around the Twin Cities. It's finally here, and we're going to need to deal with it. Emerald ash borer in Woodbury was first discovered in August of 2017. We know that there are hundreds of ash trees in Woodbury on city land and hundreds more on residents' properties that are infested with the emerald ash borer. The city is ramping up efforts to remove these infested trees from our parks. Once a tree is infested with EAB, it's important that the tree be removed in a timely manner. The attack from this bug causes the tree to become very brittle. It's then important to remove these trees before they fall and cause further damage or harm to somebody. There are some emerald ash borer treatments that are available as an alternative instead of tree removal might be something for some homeowners to consider, but only if infestation has not already occurred. You can learn a lot more about emerald ash borer by checking the section on our city's website. So much of our success in Woodbury comes from a clear vision and decades-long planned growth. And the comprehensive plan is what we use as the overarching planning tool to achieve this plan and vision. The 2040 comprehensive plan will serve as the main blueprint for future growth and development. It serves as the intersection of land use and infrastructure planning. And all the components of that are listed here on the screen. This is also available on our website, and I encourage you to go take a look if you're interested. It's a very detailed plan. It's over 200 pages long. Every community in the Twin Cities needs to update its comprehensive plan every 10 years. We still have a third of the city left yet to develop, so this plan will guide how and when the remaining portions will be developed. So we know that new development will continue to be a focus for years to come, but redevelopment and reinvestment are also becoming increasingly important. Critical success factors. Not all cities do this. We in Woodbury are very unique, and we do this because we strive for excellence in our community. The City Council has identified a list of these critical success factors which we must do well in order to remain and develop as a desirable living and working environment. These 6 factors are listed here on the screen. We in the city are not always the sole provider of all of these, but they're important, so we collaborate with other organizations in the community and the school systems to ensure success in these areas. Part of a strong vision is understanding the need for adaptability as well as long-term planning. And for this reason, the City Council has selected a couple of strategic initiatives that we feel deserve special amount of attention or analysis. And these 2 are sustainable water and fostering an inclusive and welcoming community. We're doing pretty well, but these are important, so we need to continue to focus on these and continue to improve where we can. So let's talk about water. First of all, I want everyone to know that Woodbury's water quality meets all federal, state, and regional standards. While we do have a presence of perfluoro substances, which I'll refer to as PFAS or PFAS, in 5 of our 19 wells, the Minnesota Department of Health has determined that our water system delivers safe, clean water to your tap. So PFAS substances were made and used by several companies around the world for household and industrial products like stain repellents and lubricants, fire retardants, suppressants, and more. 3M made these PFAS substances at its Cottage Grove facility from the late 1940s until 2002. PFAS wastes were disposed of in landfills around Washington County, including Lake Elmo, Oakdale, and one of the locations in southern Woodbury. The source of PFAS in our groundwater is from these contaminated landfills. So just a year ago, February of 2018, 3M and the state of Minnesota reached a settlement agreement with the state receiving a grant from 3M, which after legal fees will be roughly $720 million. This will be invested to ensure clean, sustainable water in the East Metro for generations to come. And please know that this is a very top priority for the city in 2019, and we've got many resources dedicated to the various committees around these decisions. We do know that water is a precious natural resource, and we have a goal to provide the same quality of water, or even better if we can get there, and the same quantity of water out into the future as we have today. So how are we going to do that if we're growing in population? Well, let's talk about how we're going to do that. One of these ways is our residential program. Since 2016, the city has distributed more than 1,500 smart irrigation controllers to single-family homes in Woodbury. Each controller is estimated to reduce water usage for irrigation by about 50%, which is nearly 30,000 gallons per household. You can purchase your smart water irrigation controller for a discounted price of only $35. Retail price of these controllers is $250. There will be 1,000 controllers available for purchase in 2019. They'll probably go quickly. Smart controllers are tied to the internet And with an app on your phone, it's able to know the weather conditions and apply to your lawn exactly the amount of water you need when it's needed. Be sure to stop by up at the top. Kristen is here from the city. At the top of the steps, you can secure or order your smart irrigation controller today before you leave. Again, they're only $35. So in addition to the residential program, we also are in our third year of the Water Efficiency Incentive Program for homeowners associations and commercial users. Since 2017, we've had 38 residential associations and 7 commercial properties participate. With this program, the city shares 50% of the cost for approved irrigation efficiency programs. Applications are available online, and the deadline to apply for those is April 30th. I would encourage anyone that lives in a neighborhood with a homeowners association to check in with your board or your property management company to see if they're on this program. If not, encourage them to do so. So further to our initiative on sustainable water, we did have a rate increase in water and sewer in 2019. Rate increases for water are just a dime for each tier. The increase was needed mostly to continue to incent reduced water usage and to support operating cost growth. So since we're talking about money, let's take a quick look at our budget and see how money is brought in and how that money is spent for city services. So it's important to understand the breakdown of your property tax bill. School districts, or public school districts, take about 50% of your residential property tax bill. Washington County takes another 23%. There's a couple of special taxing districts that take 2%. So the city of Woodbury, then, we have 25% of your property tax bill coming to us that we can use to provide all the services that we offer. So where does all that tax money go and how is it used? Most of our expenses go to maintaining our parks, streets, and trails, and that totals about 37%. And public safety totals nearly 40% of that budget. Let's look at the monthly cost of it, though. What does it mean to each individual home? What does it mean to your home? On average, the cost to receive all the services the city provides is only $86. So think about that. I think it's a pretty good value when you compare what you're spending for your smartphone bill or your cable bill. So one of Woodbury's greatest assets is our growing racial and age diversity, which all contributes to a really rich quality of life. As Woodbury continues to grow and become more diverse, fostering an inclusive and welcoming community is paramount to our continued success. It's important that everyone feels welcome, safe, and connected in our community. And we are becoming more diverse. 22% of our population are non-white, and 12.5% of our residents speak a language other than English at home. Woodbury embraces its growing diversity and has decades of experience adapting to change, having evolved from a quiet, largely rural farming community in the 1960s into the bustling, diverse economic hub of the East Metro that we are today. And our community is getting older. In 2020, the number of residents in Woodbury over the age of 65 is predicted to surpass those between the age of 5 and 17 for the first time. Right now, about 12% of our residents are 65 and older. That's more than 8,400 people. And we have great amenities for aging in place. As we grow older, our housing needs change. So it's important that we work to offer something for everyone so that people can stay in Woodbury and feel like they belong. In order to achieve this, one thing that we will continue to do that's been so important in this community is to continue to maintain that current mix of half multifamily housing and half single-family housing. This photo is from a Woodbury Thrives event, which was also held at HealthEast Sports Center. And there's more of those coming this year. So a great way to connect our community is to have a shared goal. And one way we did that in 2018 was with the Feed My Starving Children mobile packing event, which was held at HealthEast Sports Center. As a community, we volunteered our time, talent, and treasure to pay for and pack more than 4 million meals. Another popular resident engagement event is Woodbury Days. And with our updated Ojibway Park, we're looking forward to another great event in August. We also work hard to keep residents engaged in the community by keeping them informed about important policy decisions, services, events, and more. One way we do this is through the city's communication program. I'm imagining that that's how some of you learned about tonight's event, was through the way the city communicates. So our website, woodburymn.gov, is an award-winning website. You can find on there everything I've spoken about today and even more. So feel free to always go back there and find out more about what's going on. We also do some printed materials a few times a year. The Woodbury City Update newsletter is mailed to households and businesses 10 times per year. 3 times a year, we include the Green Times insert in that. And then our recreational brochure is mailed out 3 times per year. We're also very active in electronic communication. Our In Touch email program allows you to sign up for 13 different interest lists, including updates on city council meetings, planning commission meetings, and all the activities going on at HealthEast Sports Center. You can go online and sign up for 1 of these, 5 of these, or get them all, and emails come straight to you. In addition, we're very active on social media, including Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Nextdoor. And how many people are aware of the Code Red system? Has anybody signed up for Code Red? We've got a few, but maybe some more would like to be interested. This is an emergency notification system that's operated in conjunction with Washington County. The city uses this system to communicate urgent messages to specific neighborhoods or the entire community, such as if there's a lost person. To ensure that your mobile phone is registered, you can visit the Code Red page on the city's website. All right, that wraps up my presentation. I'd like to encourage you to stick around. There's a musical presentation here at 7, and I understand at 6:30, which we're probably close to, they're going to start setting up. But in the meantime, as they do that, if there's any questions, I would be happy to take those now and answer those as best I can. Okay, I'll have to share with you that I've done this presentation 3 times for all the city staff that we have as they've gone through training. They've had no questions either. So I take that as that it's been a very thorough and useful presentation. Thank you.